The trapezius lies superficially along the upper back and neck. Its broad, thin fibers blanket the shoulders, attaching to the occiput at the base of the head, the lateral clavicle, the scapula, and the spinous processes of the thoracic vertebrae. At the base of the head, the superior nuchal line, right here, the top of the ears, and that's going to be the location of that superior nuchal line. And there we have a very pronounced external occipital protuberance. And palpate and locate the spine of the scapula, here just off the top of the shoulder. Notice I'm not poking him with my finger. No, I'm just going to use the broad finger pads, and there's that superficial line. And if I follow it out over to the lateral portion of the clavicle, there. And that J will be an important attachment site for the upper and middle fibers of the trapezius. The spinous process of C7 is right at the base of the neck and is more prominent than the surrounding landmarks. And sure enough, there's his C7. And now it's really just a matter of counting down. T1, and there's a little gap, and then T2, and a little gap, and there's T3. You just walk your fingers all the way down systematically as you find all of these spinous processes. And there we are down to T12. So we've got the spinous processes of C7 to T12, and I'm just going to grasp some of this tissue here on the top of the neck and the top of the shoulder. And this flap of muscle tissue right here is the trapezius. This flap of tissue right here as it goes right up to the base of the head. And if I ask my partner to just raise his head off the face cradle just about an inch or so, that's great. I can really feel that tissue contract. Very superficial, right on the top of the neck. We can see a great example of those middle fibers spanning across this way, right above the rhomboids. And if I set my fingers on them as he's engaging, there we can really feel those fibers as they run this way, like so. Good, go ahead and relax. There we can see a nice line, that edge of the lower fibers of the trap. And while he's contracting, I'm just going to roll my fingers across them here. They're very palpable and superficial. And you can see where they head right down to that spinous process of T12. The upper fibers and the lower fibers are antagonists. So the upper fibers elevate the scapula, while the lower fibers depress the scapula. From the middle fibers, I can scoop the shoulder and adduct the shoulder closer to the spine, just like so.